I have been building my game for 11 weeks now, and in this video I want to show you what I've made so far. Hello, I'm Martin and I'm working on building a cozy village builder and exploration adventure game where you give commands to your people and help them grow, survive and explore the world. In this video I want to tell you how this whole journey started, what's the progress I made so far, and what are my next plans. What are my next plans and visions for the game. So how did this journey start? Well, in 2025 I joined 3 game jams. Ludum Dare in spring, GMTK game jam in summer and another Ludum Dare in autumn. And for all of these I have made pretty interesting and actually new games for me, because in each one I tried doing something new. I made videos about these games, so if you are interested in the details and stories for these, the links are in the description. And also there are links where you can play the games. For the first Ludum Dare I made a game called Down Golf. It was pretty fun to do. It was the first time I played with physics in 2D in Godot and actually made a game just around the physics. And also it was the first time that I tried making my own sound effects. It was a ton of fun to record them with my own mouth, and the results are pretty hilarious. Then for the GMTK game jam in summer, I made a game called Lasso Sheriff, and this was the first game that I made hand-drawn sprites for. Instead of using pixel art like for all of my previous games, I used Procreate on my iPad to draw these cute sprites, and I quite like how the game looks. It was a ton of fun. Now granted, I'm not an artist, so all the sprites are pretty basic, but I think they look quite nice in the game. And finally, for the second Ludum Dare game jam, which was in autumn, I made this game called Outward. The theme of the game jam was collecting resources, or collector? Yeah, it was collector. So I made a game about collecting resources, and I used everything I have learned so far, like drawing the sprites in Procreate instead of relying on simple pixel art. And I also used proper sound effects, which I have mixed and combined together, and they really fit the game. And most importantly, I have decided to really limit myself and really limit the scope of the game, just so I have time to actually finish and polish it. So I really made this game only be focused on gathering the resources. You give commands to the villagers, they mine the resources that you mark and collect the items from them. And as you collect the resources, the world expands and shows you more resources to collect. It's a very simple game loop, but I had a lot of time to polish the game. I used everything I know about juice and everything I had time for, like these squashy animations and really nice sound effects for everything that's happening in the game. And the result was the best game I ever made. I also made a video about the best game I ever made. If you're interested in the whole story of this game, link is down in the description. So I really liked the game I made for this game jam, and the feedback I got was really positive and honestly a little bit overwhelming. So many people liked the game and wanted to see the full version, and I wanted to start working on a game long term for the whole year. I was sort of preparing myself and looking for ideas, and after making this game it was obvious I really need to make this into a demo. Now, I have worked on many games in the past, and the ones that I was actually able to finish were only weekend game jam games. I was never able to finish anything long term because I lost motivation. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to develop in public because I think that that gives you not only visibility, but also external motivation. So on the 11th of November, on my name's day actually, I officially started working on the game. And the approach I chose is through daily practice. I committed myself to work on the game for an hour in the morning, and I also committed myself to making daily videos with the progress and updates of whatever I was working on that day. I originally only wanted to make these longer devlogs and maybe weekly summaries, but I started the first week with making daily videos just to get started, and that they had such a positive feedback that I told myself that I'm going to continue. So ever since then I've been working on the game and also making daily and weekly videos with my progress updates. So, what have I made so far? Well, it's been 11 weeks and I have used this time to build the foundations of the game and the first systems. I've spent the first few weeks planning, drawing sprites for the game and also gathering a couple of sound effects. Then I built the basics, camera movement with some ambient sounds, then resource objects like trees, rocks, bush that doesn't do anything yet, resource items like wood and stone, and after I had the world set up at least a little bit, I started adding the villagers. Villagers are like the core of the game and you play the game by giving them commands and jobs. So first I added dummy villagers and I added simple idle and wander states for them, so they could just stand and wander around, but they couldn't do anything yet. And then I spent a lot of time adding commands and jobs for them. I spent some time brainstorming what sort of commands I want in the game, because in the game jam version you click to spawn flags, and these flags automatically mark nearby resources to be mined and collected by the villagers. It was very simple for the game jam and it worked pretty well, but I was thinking that for the whole game you perhaps would like to mark individual trees to be mined. So this is the version I went with while working on the game, but actually in the future I want to bring the flags or the commands back because I think that it made the game better to play. So I created a system to listen for mouse events on the resource objects, just so I can detect when they are hovered or clicked. And then I implemented the job system. When you click on a resource object such as a tree or an item such as a piece of wood, it creates a job behind the scenes. After I had this job system, I started adding job states for the villagers. After some time, they could see available jobs near them, pick one of them, go to the location of the job, like for example going to the tree, then mine the tree, and if the job was about picking an item, they would go to the item, pick it up and haul it back to the village center and drop it there. This was a lot of fun to implement. I love making on systems and AI. Villagers use a simple state machine and each state implements part of their behavior. If you are interested in more details, just let me know in the comments and I can make a video about stacked state machine that I currently use. So after I completed this, I had the first loop in the game. You could collect resources, but you couldn't yet see them. So next I added a simple UI into the game, and I actually went down a little bit of a rabbit hole one week because I was redrawing the sprites in the game like 4 times. You can watch the videos about them if you are interested in the story. Then I expanded the command system. I added mine command and build command. I added these very simple buttons for switching between what command you want to place and also allowing you to cancel existing commands. And finally, for the past weeks, I've been implementing the mechanics required for constructing the buildings, such as the UI for selecting what building you want to actually place, and also storing data for the buildings like their resource cost or their names or their sprites. Then when you select the building and you place it, this actually creates an object called construction site, and the construction site creates new jobs, prompting the villagers to gather resources from the village center, bringing them to the construction site. And once the construction site has all the required resources, it will create a build job for the villagers, so the villagers will come and build the construction site. After the construction site is built, it creates the building. It sounds a little bit more complicated. As a player, you just place a building and then the villagers will take care of the rest. But I wanted to describe these steps to you because those are all the steps that I had to implement to get this feature working. So, what's currently in the game? Well, only the first foundations. You can give commands to the villagers to mine resources and collect items, and you can also order them to construct buildings, and when you do so, they will haul the required resources to the construction site and then do the work to construct the building. It might not look that much, but I have also spent a lot of time iterating, planning, figuring out what I actually want from the game, and also making sure that what's currently in the game looks and feels nice. What's next for the game? Well, first I want to make the buildings actually usable. They should have a UI and they should allow you to construct new materials, tools, and some of them will allow you to assign villagers to them, and then the villagers will become specialized, such as lumberjack or miner. After that is done, I think that we will have a basic game done. And after that, I want to move on to world generation, which I'm really excited about and I'm looking forward to it. This game will have a finite world, which I want to procedurally generate, but because it will be finite, I can do a lot of passes and ensure that the island will be very interesting to explore. This is similar to how Terraria or Al Goblin do this, instead of, for example, Minecraft. You might be wondering, what is this game about? What game am I actually building? And I don't know yet. I'm exploring this as I build it. But I have a couple of visions and ideas what I want the game to be like. First of all, I want the game to be a cozy village builder and also an exploration adventure. I want it to feel warm, inviting, cozy, chill, but also a little bit mystical. I want the exploration to be fun and interesting. When you start the game, you are going to spawn in an unknown world. You're not going to see much around you. You will start with 2 villagers and your goal will be to survive, gather resources and explore the world. Later in the game, you are going to encounter a lot of biomes and resources, mystical ancient structures, and you're also going to interact with a lot of animals, creatures, maybe even spirits. I have this idea for the game that I'm not yet sure how I'm going to execute. We'll see once I start exploring it. But I want the biomes in the game to have like a soul, like forests to have a soul, and the game will track your relationship with these biomes. For example, if you decide to cut down the whole forest, then the forest will spawn hostile spirits that will attack you, and you can also kill the forest. But on the other hand, you can decide to help it heal, restore it, and then the forest will spawn somehow helpful spirits which will guide you and which will help you. This idea is very vague for now, but I want there to be spirits and souls and forests with names that you can interact with. Maybe you arrive on this island to settle on it and exploit its resources. And maybe you arrive on this island to heal it and cleanse it from negative energies. We'll see. You might have noticed that I've been referring to my game as the game instead of any concrete name or title. And that is because when I made the original version for the game jam, I've been calling the game Outward. And I really, really like this name. But unfortunately, there's already a game called Outward and Outward 2. And it's pretty successful as far as I know. So I can't use that name. And I've been struggling to find anything similar or equally as good. So if you have any good ideas for what this game could be called, please let me know down in the comments. I would appreciate any sort of feedback. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you like the game and if you would like to follow the journey and watch me build it into a full demo version, well, make sure to subscribe. If you have any feedback for the game or for the video, make sure to leave a comment, and I do read every single one of them. See you in the next one. Bye. I think that's all.